Okay, this is just an incredibly short video just about the exam and kind of our transition now here to the second of the three parts of this course. So basically in this first part of the course we did the basics of economics, right? We did supply and demand, we did the introduction to what is economics, and we talked about production possibilities, frontier, and international trade. You would probably get that in both of your courses, both Econ 130 and 131. So there's kind of a commonality to it. Now, as you've probably seen in doing this, and I'm sure that some of you are frustrated by it, and I recognize that. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of learning, and I'm not trying to say tough luck. I'm not trying to be that uncaring, but it is part of the learning process. So at least be sympathetic to me, knowing that I know it's not easy, and I don't pretend to think that it's easy. So here's the issue, right? You took the exam and you're like, dude, shiting, this exam, the questions were so very different from how I had to do the things for for the homework assignments. And it's absolutely true. There was a reason for that. So what you basically, the way that I structured it so far is that the homework, the reason why it's tough and the reason why you don't have any time limits and you get to do things multiple times and there's practice questions is because you're actually doing the more difficult task there of applying the knowledge, right? So you're doing a problem rather than it asking you a definition. So you're struggling with that, right? You're spending hours and hours and hours and you're really grumpy with me. And the reason why that is so difficult is because you've never done it before. And plus, I'm intentionally not giving you that much guidance on the homework assignment itself. I want you to struggle with it. And that sounds bad and grumpy and kind of junky of me to do that to you, but it's the best place to do it because it's low risk. Right? You don't have a time limit on you. Then when you got to the exam, it was like definitions, very simple problems. And so there very much so was a causal relationship between those who spent the time on the homework assignments and on that A+ test prep part and what the exam scores were. So the second exam was going to have much the same structure. You're going to have these homework assignments. They're going to be a real slog, and you're going to have to be applying a lot of things. And you're going to have an exam that's going to cover definitions, right? And it's going to be important for that. Now, the way that the third exam, the last exam, is going to be different because in the third exam, I'm actually going to have you do both parts. Now, the problems that I have you do are actually not going to be completely new problems. They're going to be problems that you've seen before, but you will have to do some problems, but not for the first time. You will have seen them before. And you will have some definitional questions. So the best thing I can tell you is keep doing what you're doing. For those of you who are not earning the scores that you'd like to see, reach out to me. It really is that simple. Don't just ignore it. You should know that Cengage tells me a lot of stuff here. I'm going to click on this and see what it tells me here. It tells me a lot of stuff. I can track by each of you. I can track whether you are low engaged, moderate engaged, or high engaged. If you tell me, dude, shutting, I've been working on this problem set for 10 hours and I spend 15 hours a day doing this, I will absolutely know if you're telling me the truth or not. Not that I'm Big Brother and I don't have the time to be a big brother and watch over what you're doing. But for those of you who are working incredibly hard and spending a lot of time, but you're not seeing the results you want, you should absolutely know I'm going to look at that. And I'm going to look at what your engagement was. And I'm going to account for that. Not that this is everyone gets a participation medal kind of thing, but I do care about how much time you're spending in it. Right? And I can click on these things like time in course, activities accessed. So put in the effort, and you absolutely will get rewarded in terms of the grade at the end of the semester, even if your grades don't look great. on the exam. But do reach out to me. Reach out to me. And tell me about your situation, why you're getting that, and maybe I can help you out do better. But then also, I'll ask that you again remind me of your situation when it comes time to end of semester grades. Okay, so that's all I really want to say about the exam. You should be able to kind of review things here, but basically you're just going to keep now doing the same thing for this second part of the course. Struggle through the problems, dislike me greatly for the problems, probably have a lot of bad words for me, bad names for me, and then when we get to the exam, we're focusing more on definitions. Okay, that's it.